Hey everyone, time for a last minute video. This isn't what I had planned to release today, so I decided to move my schedule back maybe like a day or two because of all the new, the updates and the developer blogs coming out. So yeah, this video is going to be to address the developer update that came out yesterday. And like I said at the end of the last video, stuff like this is really good. The communication that they're having, the increasing communication that they're having is very awesome, and I'm all here for it. Which, is half the issue a lot of people have had with the game and with the team. Just kind of being in the dark all the time sucks because it feels like nobody's really kind of addressing the problems, or you don't even know if they're thinking about it or all that other stuff. So this is good. So, stay nice and hopefully they keep this going. So yeah, with that, let's begin. So the first thing they talked about is that they will be making changes to ranked in the next season. There's going to be in season 3 there's going to be an update. And in season 4 there's gonna be like another update, so there's probably a hefty amount of changes they're trying to make, and I think this is good news for everyone. Well, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but it feels like the entire system has been so overthought to like the millionth degree that they just kind of kept throwing things on top of the system, and it just kind of became the mess that we have right now. Like, I know I'm not a game developer, but I don't think I've ever played a competitive game where the competitive scene was like this convoluted and redundant and just silly. So them rolling out new mechanics the next season, and even more of the following one, makes me, it's a little, it has my attention, because how complicated does it have to be for it to be split between 2 seasons? Like, what are you guys doing? It might be some more complicated bullshit, but we'll see. I'm sure they know that nobody's happy with the matchmaker in its current state, and I had stopped playing competitive completely. Well, not because of the matchmaker, only because playing against a Roadhog was really horrible. It was awful, as I ranted about in my last video. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I hope they don't overdo it, but we'll just wait and see. We don't know the details yet, so I can't really go into it. I can just say that I'm what's the word? I am cautiously happy about it. So yeah, next thing, I can't really talk much about it, but they said that they wanted to make it easier for players to get rewards and the things they want, like skins and what do you call it, the animations and the emotes and things. And I can't really say much about this because I pretty much have everything I want, because I've gotten them all from Overwatch 1, and I'm sure it's very frustrating for people to, wait several months, or like maybe even longer. Well, the game's only been out for several months, but not having a prospect of knowing when you'll be able to get the type of skin that you want, because it's very limited, right? The shops are so limited. You can only get like, I don't know, there's like 4 or 5 options for like a week, and then it kind of recycles. And then the ones that are recommended for you are kind of the same thing all the time. And I think it's based off the characters you play. So, yeah, it needs some work, and I think it could easily be fixed with more gold rewards when you play, or just like a better, more options in the shop or things like that, for people who want to pay for that. But I think more gold options, or even making some of the things that are locked in the store more available, but that'll just kind of go into just having more options in the store. But yeah, other than that, this is honestly the least of their problems. So I'd rather move on to the next ones. I think the next 2 are like the biggest ones, maybe even the last one, but might make a video of that on its own. Anyways, number 3, what they said they'll do is there's gonna be a lot of changes in the mechanics of how the ultimate system works, and I'd like to see what the other changes are, because what they said is they're reducing the 30 ult charge you have to 25 when you switch. So I don't really think that fixes the underlying problem. I don't think that does anything for the problem. When I think about it, I don't think that does anything to address the problem with this, which goes into, why they, when they make a change, I would like to ask them, like, why do you think you're doing this? Like, what exactly do you think this is gonna fix? I don't think they understand the problem with the ults, with the 30 ult that you're keeping. And for example, you can see it in my how to play Doomfist videos. I start as Doomfist, and then, you know, the enemy starts off as, I don't know, let's say D.Va, and I fuck them up pretty bad. And then, you know, when the D.Va responds, she switches over to Roadhog. Now, at this point, let's say we both have 25 Ult Charge, because we just had the first fight, and then, you know, we built it up a little bit. So we fight again, and I get crushed because she's a Roadhog now. Now, she has 50, and I have 40. So now I have to change to let's say to Orisa. But if I change now, I'm going to go down to 30 while she's going to keep the 50. So it punishes the person who essentially was winning at the beginning. At the beginning, if you win the first fight, then you kind of get punished for that. And you know, it's a problem. I don't really know to what degree this is a problem. This is just my own experience and my observations. But I don't know how bad it is, because you are winning the first fight, but now you know, they have an ult, and then they kind of just took you over. So I guess you get a +1. Now they have like a +1 and then a +2. So now they just have the +1. I don't know, advantage wise. So whatever. But I do get that most people don't even think about this effect in the game. Like, a lot of people are just kind of thinking, oh, it feels good to be able to switch and still keep your ultimate, right? I was definitely one of those people in Overwatch 1 where I didn't want to switch because I have my ultimate, and, you know, I'm staying with a character that's losing, but I don't want to switch. But I do think I have like solutions on that, where personally I think the amount of ultimate charge you retain should depend on the role you're playing. Tank ultimates are just too game changing and too impactful, where honestly I think they should either retain either all of their ult charge or none of the ult charge, especially because of the whole rock paper scissors system that kind of developed through only having one tank, and not just having one tank, but having one tank that is that you don't really have that many different tanks you could choose from, right? It's not like DPS where there's like a million characters, and it's too consequential. It's too consequential, and you need to switch is the problem with you know, keeping the cooldowns, it's too consequential, and you need to switch. I think they had it right the first time, where only DPS kept the ult charges, because DPS, you know, they really don't matter as much as the other roles, simply because all they really do is damage, right? And also because there's so many of them, so you don't have, and you have two on a team, so you don't have that rock paper scissors problem. There's so much diversity of like what can answer to what and how they can respond to each other, that they don't have the rock paper scissors problem that tanks do. So I feel like they can probably, honestly, maybe not keep their full charge, but I think DPS role can probably keep the 30, and maybe support characters should have like 20, because one, the people playing support class, they already kind of have like, you know, they're getting, I forgot the term, the loose end of the stick, the bottom half of the stick, I don't fucking know. But they already have like enough problems as it is, so we got to keep it fun for them too, right? But also the ultimate kind of just enables their team instead of, you know, making a problem for the other team. Well, indirectly it does, but not, you know, not directly like that. So, and on top of that, you have two, so there is counterplay that could be done. Not even necessarily that, you know, support characters need to be countered, is a big thing. So I think, you know, either give tanks, let them keep all their ultimates or none of it, or let the DPS keep 30 and let the support characters keep 20. I think that would be a better system, because the least consequential you are for your ultimate, the less it matters that, you know, you have your ult or not. So you can kind of keep it, or, you know, there isn't much need of that much counterplay. So I'm kind of like ad-libbing, but whatever. So the fourth thing they talk about was about having much more balanced updates for the game. And this is the most important thing for me in here, and I think probably for everybody, because it's a step in the right direction. It's a really good step in the right direction. And I would like the bigger, beefier patch change, but they have, all their patches have been a bit too timid. Like they not only is it not a lot, it's almost always in the wrong direction, as in it doesn't address, kind of like what I said earlier, it doesn't address like a lot of the major issues that a lot of these characters have. Now, although this is what I want, as in, you know, more patches, I also understand that the Overwatch balancing team doesn't really understand, like, I don't know how to put it, because it sounds so I don't know, so mean, high and mighty to say it this way, but I don't think they have a fundamental understanding of how the cause and effects of the game, if that makes sense. I'm sure they're looking at their charts, looking at the data, but it's like every reaction they have to it is just seems to be wrong. It just seems to be wrong instead of listening to what the players are saying, which I know the players oftentimes are wrong too. You know, I've seen some suggestions, even some of my rework videos. I kind of say some wild stuff, but you know, it's their job, right? So they should be better. But yeah, as of now, they are making pretty timid patches, pretty timid changes, and they're making a small amount of changes that don't do much for the game. They either need to make big aggressive changes if they want to keep the low frequency of changes they have right now, or they need to keep the small patches but like pump that up to like 11. They need to do a lot more of that, and I'm fine with that as long as it's consistent and keeps coming out. The problem is that they're not doing any of these, so hopefully that changes. And I guess I'm saying that they have saying that they have a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes a character, you know, what they are. It's true. It's true. So because of that, I think it's probably better to stay away from the big patches, the aggressive patches, and just do a lot of the small ones, because so they can kind of see how things are affecting each other. Because, you know, they're going to do some big thing in the completely wrong direction, and then we're going to be stuck with that for like another 2 weeks. A good example to this, at least for me, is Doomfist. When they first buffed Doomfist, one, he was really strong, but they changed a lot of things that didn't need to be changed. Personally, I think his rocket punch now, at least the stunning mechanic is worse, because, you know, now you punch somebody in the wall, they're stunned for like, was it a quarter of a second, and then if you punch them with your charged fist, they're stuck for like half a second. While before it was no charge, it was no stun, and you'll be stunned from the empowered fist for like a whole second. I think that was much better, stunning wise. They should keep his new damage. They should keep how much shield he develops now. I think it's 35 now, while before at the beginning it was 30. And then they buffed it up to 40, which is a bit much. But yeah, I think that those are only the real changes that needed to be done back then. Maybe the new you know, power block system the way it is now should stay, but you know, it is better now, so maybe keep that too. But now I say this, but you know, they finally got around to fixing Sojourn. I don't think Sojourn's as bad as she was before. I do think she's probably the best or the second best DPS character right now. Junkrat is extremely close second. He could also probably be number one, just because of the lack of skill needed to play him in comparison to Sojourn. But yeah, I think they fixed the main problem with her, and she doesn't feel that OP anymore. And you know, yes, occasionally she does still get the headshot, and you know, that's a bit annoying, but I believe you know, maybe every character should be a little OP at the one thing that they do. So yeah, I think it was Jeff Kaplan who had said that they finally realized that they can't just do like small updates here and there. They have to be more aggressive with their updates as the frequency of it, because it gets stale and people get tired of it. And not just to kind of forcibly change the meta because they don't understand the game themselves, but just to, you know, keep, I don't know, just it's there's so much cause and effect. You just need to put things out and just kind of see how they affect things. And you know, I'm waiting for the experimental mode to come out, so you know, we'll see how that goes. And they did say that they fixed their I didn't realize this until I think somebody said in the comments, and I looked into it, where they have a hot fix system up and running now, I think ever since January or something, where before the reason that they couldn't update the game as much was because there's like all these rules that are that get in the way when trying to update a game on like a console, so like Xbox and PlayStation. but not PC, right? PC, you kind of just do it. So they finally got that worked out. So now they can, you know, do more hot balancing patches more regularly. So that's good. That's really good. And kudos to them for that. Hey everyone, I'd like to interrupt this video to remind you to like and leave a comment. It's the best thing you can do to a video so that YouTube increases its reach, and I'd really like to keep growing this community, especially since we have so many good discussions and debates in the comment sections, and I do read and try to reply to every single comment. So please like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you like it. But yeah, for the algorithm, please like and comment. Okay, and the fifth thing they talked about was, you know, addressing the one-shot capabilities that some heroes have. So this is pretty important too. There is a ton of damage in Overwatch 2, like a ton of damage. You can turn a corner, then be melted immediately by a fraction of a second because, I don't know, you got hit by a railgun and then the crowd hits you, and then you got, I don't know, hit by a Reinhardt or something. I don't know, you don't see Reinhardt so much. Especially if they're running a Junkrat and a Soldier. And I noticed that Junkrat, he's not exactly a one-shot kill, but his damage output is so much, it might as well be. And there's a lot of characters like that. Even Tracer, before they nerfed her gun, you'll just see your HP just zoop, go back down like really quick if she kind of sneaks up behind you. Now, I do think that some characters should have a one-shot ability, and those characters are Widow, and that's it. I think Widow. Some of you might have thought I was going to say Hanzo, because, you know, I said Widow and they kind of go together, but no, Hanzo's ability to headshot, it doesn't make any sense to me. I get it, you know, getting an arrow in your head, but I'm convinced that the hitbox for his arrow is like a gajillion times larger than the arrow itself. Widow, on the other hand, if I get hit shot by a Widow and die, I'm just like, okay, like I feel like it, I get it, you know, because getting a headshot with a Widow, one, it's not an easy thing to do. It's pretty hard. It's really hard to do. But on top of that, it's the only thing she can do. Hanzo, not only can he do that, right, where he gets a headshot from across the screen and it doesn't even look like he's looking at his monitor, but even at mid range, he can just storm arrow you, just kind of jump around, and it's very annoying. So yeah, he has options. While on the other hand, Widow, when you dive on her, she's forced to either die or run away or use her like shitty little gun to stall before option 1 or 2 kick in. So yeah, the best defense against Widow is to just kind of get good at using your cover, and then, you know, slowly get close to her and then take her out. Especially as Doomfist, yeah, I'm usually taking out the Widow. So, you know, if you're playing Doomfist and there's somebody on the high ground, it's your job to get that person. So yeah, you can see this in my Doomfist, how to play Doomfist series, just kind of how I'm never in the line of sight. It's very important. Like, it's probably the most important thing you can do. You can learn to kind of go up in the ranks. So yeah, even if you look at like McCree's grenade, like what the hell is that? Like, if you're a McCree player and you throw your grenade on somebody and they die, you know that was a cheesy kill. You know the simplicity of that. so yeah. But yeah, anyways, as I was saying, every game I've ever played that's a shooter has a sniper, and snipers tend to get these one-shot kills. So, you know, it's fine with Mercy. It's fine with Widow because, one, that's all she can do and it's really hard. So maybe certain characters should just be snipers. I don't really think Hanzo's a sniper. He's like a mid-range sniper that can also do long-range sniper stuff. So that's very lame. So yeah, all 4 of these changes are really good, and you know, we need more information, but it is a step in the right direction. I really do like that they're communicating more. They said they're doing everything more, and it does kind of feel like the more we get into it, the more it feels like the game's not ready. And actually, I think in the first couple videos I made of Overwatch, I did say I don't think this game's ready. There's no way this game's gonna be ready. Because even playing in the beta, there's just so many things wrong with it that I didn't like. But yeah, it looks like they're slowly coming together. The problem is that it's just so slow. But yeah, there you have it. Don't forget to like, leave a message, and subscribe. And I love you.